Beside me here is a 1950s Ford 8N tractor that was recently pulled out of a barn after sitting. I did do a part 1 video on this where we pulled it out of the barn. We got it on the trailer because we weren't able to get it started there, and we brought it home. We're gonna get into more detail about the tractor, how we got it started, why it wouldn't start in part 1. Part 1, the video I think is only like 2 minutes long, and that's because we were really just trying to get it out of there because there was a storm rolling in, so we were kind of trying to get it on the trailer and get it home before it started thunderstorming. Didn't really have a lot of time to just explain what was happening as we were going through it. And the reason I said that we weren't able to jump start it is because for some reason the jump pack, it wasn't doing anything with it. I'll tell you why in a minute. That's the whole reason why the tractor wasn't starting. So then we tried pulling it with the four-wheeler. We pulled it around and it was turning over just fine, but we were getting nothing. So the clouds are starting to roll in. I did manage to clean the points there. We pulled it one more time, still didn't do anything. So we got it loaded up on the trailer and we got it out of there and brought it back home. So this isn't really a will it start part 2 because it's already started. As you guys can see here, I got it pulled outside. The reason I didn't film it was because I'd already cleaned the points when we were pulling it out of the barn, so that was done. But we did need a new battery. The reason we couldn't get this tractor to fire at all was because the ignition actually wasn't turning on. There is a small black wire that gets connected to the battery here. It gets connected right to the negative cable for the ignition to the tractor. That was unhooked when it was parked, so that's why it wasn't firing at all. This tractor is probably somewhere from the 1950s in that era, and it had been sitting in a barn for probably close to 8 years, and the fact that all it needed was a new battery, that's pretty incredible. So let's start going over a little bit about this tractor. We'll start with the basics. Cosmetically, it actually isn't too bad. Even though it's been sitting in a barn, it was undercover. We got a little bit of rust on the side of the hood here, and as you can see, the fenders are a little bit dented on the sides here, but other than that, cosmetically, it's in really good shape. So we'll start with what it's got for an engine. We got a straight 4-cylinder gas engine, carbureted. I think that produces about 35 horsepower. I think that's how much this tractor is. I'm not sure though. I'll put it up on the screen how much horsepower it actually is. We do have a full 3-point hitch on the back with a PTO. The one thing we don't have on this tractor right now is a top link, so we are gonna have to get a top link for this. We do have a drawbar on there too, on the 3-point hitch. For tires, in the rear we have Ag Tread. In the front, we have narrow ribbed tires. It is only 2-wheel drive. As far as steering goes, it steers relatively easy. I think it has some sort of power steering in it. I'm not sure though. Coming over to the front of the tractor here, we have this right here, which is our radiator cap. We have 2 headlights here, and basically the same on this side as it is on the other side. If we open up the hood here, we have our gas tank and we have our battery that's located underneath the same hood. Moving on to the operator station. We have 2 footboards on the bottom there. You sit right over the transmission here. Metal seat does have a spring in it though, so I mean, it does spring a little bit. So up here we have a 4-speed transmission, 1, 2, 3, 4, and reverse. We have a push ignition switch right here. Ignition on or off, lights on or off. We have various gauges. We also have a little choke over here. Up top, we have our throttle. The steering wheel on this is huge. I mean, it is a really big steering wheel, which does make it easier to turn. On the right side, right next to your leg, you have your 3-point hitch control. Then down on your left side, you have the clutch. And on your right side, you have both independent brakes. So you have your right side and you have your left side. You gotta push them right in the middle to stop the tractor. If you guys have any ideas on what you'd like to see on the back of this, let me know. All right, so now let's fire this thing up and take it for a little drive. wonder if it'll fit over that bridge there. Let's go find out. Headed over the culvert now.